Hi guys. Anyone going through videos or sites made by theists will find a number of pictures of apparitions or sightings. The most numerous and ludicrous claims by far come from superstitious Muslims who call them signs of Allah. These will be pictures of clouds, rocks, trees, babies, shadows, waves, anything imaginable. You will find a signature of Allah written in Arabic on almost anything. Muslims will swear their God has left these signs to encourage Muslims in their plight to dominate the field of religion, because their God is the only and true God, because it says so in their book, the Quran, because it was written and revealed by their God, because the Quran says so. Because we have arrived in the 21st century, complete with something not mentioned by the all-knowing God in his all-knowing Quran, the Internet, we can easily check which claim for scientific inerrancy made by Muslims is actually true. Now that we know that the claims are unwarranted, they have resorted to declaring the text itself a miracle, which they think is more difficult to refute for some odd reason, and showing non-believers pretty pictures of Allah's signatures. This means that while thousands of children are dying from the lack of food, in spite of their combined prayers to their God to help them, Allah is off bending trees or arranging waves and clouds into pretty patterns. I think most of us have seen the pictures of the tree prostrating towards Mecca, without any proof of the direction this tree ended up in. There are several trees and rocks, all said to be prostrating towards Mecca, without any proof. Even this 747 seems to have been neglected by Allah, who holds up anything that flies and prostrates before him. Well, this is because 1679 states, "Do they not see the birds suspended in mid-air up in the sky? Nothing holds them there except Allah." Well, since the wing of an aircraft does nothing else than a bird's wing, Allah also holds up all aircraft, regardless of what Bernoulli postulated. So, while the plane crashed, a Saudi plane nochal, Allah was probably busy elsewhere, maybe directing some atheist to hell or something equally important. But now, I'm curious, if the trees and the rocks were the work of Allah, which God is responsible for this lot? What about these appearances of Mary and or Jesus? There's a whole page dedicated to Jesus or Mary or both sightings in all sorts of things. It looks more like a mixture of superstition and wishful thinking. What I've noticed is that Allah never appears to Christians and Jesus never to Jews. How come? Why does the Arabic writing appear on the skin of a human baby, but not on a piglet, whose skin is almost identical to that of a human? We find that Allah does not create a durable sign in the form of a mountain, for example, but rather for milliseconds as a cloud or a wave. Could humans 5,000 years ago see this? No, because there was no Arabic language or writing, even though Adam must have been brought up by Allah on Arabic. Strange. Were signs distributed throughout history, civilizations, and geography? Nope. Only today we have witnesses able to see the signs. Hardly convincing. So now that we've established that it is highly unlikely that a supernatural being outside of our space-time continuum was responsible for all this, what alternative explanation do we have? Well, as so often, we have something called science, an area based on fact and data, using rational thinking and based on peer competition, where one scientist would like nothing better than to be able to prove another scientist wrong, to further their own standing, reputation, visibility, and ultimately grant generation capabilities. Science has recognized and researched this area using experiments, modern equipment, and brainpower, constructing multiple tests and forming conclusions which are summarized under one term, Pareidolia. There are many subdivisions of this, all specializing on the specific area of 3D, space, form, or whatever completion pattern our brain is following. And this explains all the signs all in one go, our brain's ability and drive to complete geometric patterns, which is why we, Homo sapiens, are specialized in recognizing faces and facial expressions. which is also why I am so uncomfortable talking to a woman whose face I can't see. A lump of black cloth, telling your wife she has a bladder infection, deduced with the help of ultra-modern blood analysis equipment and a scanner. It just doesn't fit. But we'll get there. Thank you for your time and brain cells.